like best about the new Envision program is that it explains why. The children actually have a better understanding of what they're doing because they understand why they're doing it. And they get an opportunity to actually do hands-on activities to make that a realization for them.
There's 5 cookies together, bunched together, and how many cookies in each bunch? 3. So on your desk you should have 5 different little piles or rows with 3 in each one.
They love it. My kids really like it. I think if I compare it to the old program, the old program was kind of more direct and it was drier. This program, to me, it feels like lots of little bites and bits that come together to make a whole. And so each child, even if a child is struggling, they'll be able to understand and grasp one of those smaller bits. And then when it finally comes together for them, then they're really excited about, their outcome.
How many children are on the bus now? Count your children.
8.
The first big aha for me was we had been using the program for the first couple of weeks of school. And traditionally every year I always do a time test. I start with doing an addition time test with very small numbers, and they race against their own time to see how many they can get. And it's just a couple minutes long, a couple problems. But I thought it really seemed like they were getting it more, so I increased their first test to a whole page of addition problems. And I gave them the paper, I timed them on the test, I got the test back, and almost my entire class had 100%.
The smallest mammal in the world is the bumblebee bat. The weight of the bumblebee bat is equal to 5/100 times the weight of a mouse.
Okay, and how do we write 500ths? How do we write 500ths, Ryan?
0.05.
Good.
This program is hands-on. So every lesson that we do, there's some kind of a manipulative. So you're putting, really, in my mind, they're manipulatives, but in their mind, they're toys. So you're putting their hands on toys. So you have to, account for a little extra time because they're going to stack them, they're going to play with them. But that's good because that's a learning experience too. But I found that with those things in their hands, they're touching them and they're feeling them as they're working it out in their minds.
This is 72.
Okay. Divided by 2.
Minus 1. And then adding. And then 4 minus 72.
4 divided by 2 is 20. This is 20.
Another really cool thing is that every single lesson has a correlating program on the internet, so on the computer. So we put it up, it's like a little song or a little game or a math program or a math problem or something. So they watch that, which is exciting anyway. Then they get to start playing around with their manipulatives.
Which weight is known? The weight of the jar or the weight of the mixed nuts?
So what information do we have, Jaden?
We made a math journal, and so they actually physically have a math journal, so they get really excited because they know they're going to be writing. And they don't realize it, but they're actually writing too. So they have to write their problem out, and then they have to answer their problem. And at first it's slow. But anyway, they really love that. So they start out with the hands-on, then they go to the independent, and then by the end of the process, they're completely on their own, and they kind of get a chance to work at their own pace there, which is really great for some of the ones that are, really quick little guys and want to be done and on to something else. So, but yeah, because they take ownership, I think, as opposed to sitting there, listening to me, doing their page and being done.
The rectangular prism could be used to trace the plane shape of a square. Would we use it to trace the rectangle?
No.
Why not?
It has made a difference in the way I teach math, primarily because I use my Promethean, my interactive whiteboard, for everything now, because the program works with that. So what we do is I project everything. The kids get up and interact with it. And even if it's a lesson where they're not interacting, they're watching me, so they're engaged with what I'm doing up front. And if it's, the kids just love that kind of thing. If it's moving on a screen, they're digging it.
We're going to watch the video for just a little bit.
One of the things that I found with this program being a person who has always struggled with math is that it teaches the way I think. I know some people are really like hard and fast about, learning math facts. For me, I kind of need to know why. And this program is all about why. And I've found that for me, knowing why, if I know why, then I can make the end result happen. So I find that for me, it makes sense. And I kind of wish that when I was 5 years old and 6 years old, I was using something similar, because then I think I'd have a better grasp even now as an adult. So that's one thing that I really like about it for me.